Hi everyone, this is an instructional video for our 4.05, which is the first news article that you're going to be writing for class this year. So this video is going to be just a little bit on the lengthy side because it's such a important large assignment. I want to make sure that I'm covering everything for you. So what I want to do first is look at your 3.01 assignment. So you did a story proposal back in 3.01. If you have not completed this assignment, you need to stop, go to 3.01, complete that assignment, come back and pick up and watch the rest of the video. Okay, this is a priority. Okay, you have to do this assignment before you can complete 4.05. So in 3.01, you picked a story that you would like to write about. So this is what you are going to be writing about in 4.05. All right. So I'm going to pull over the actual assignment for you to show you what you're going to be doing in 4.05. And again, just a reiteration here, this has to be completed 3.01, and you have to have gotten a 25 out of 25 on this assignment before you can attempt 4.05, okay? So you have already chosen an organization or an individual that's made news in your local community. So remember that this has to take place in your local community. It can't be national. If you live in Dayton, it can't be something big that happened in Columbus. It has to be in your local community. Okay. So you're going to gather and organize some information. You're going to write a draft. You're going to review and polish your work over the next several lessons. I will tell you this assignment you are going to have 2 weeks to complete, and it's the only assignment that you're working on over the next 2 weeks. So if I'm giving you 2 weeks to work on an assignment and this is the only thing you're working on for those 2 weeks, you can guarantee that this is going to be probably worth more than anything we've done in class so far, which it is, okay? So the points on this assignment are pretty high. So you're going to be given 2 weeks to work on this, so make sure that you use those 2 weeks. You should not be able to finish this assignment in a day or even 2 days. This assignment should take you at least a week to two to finish. Okay, so just be aware of that. So you are going to use your topic that you looked at. If you did any research for any of the previous assignments, you can use those. If you looked at any interview questions, you're allowed to use those that you've done so far to kind of build up to this. All right. So one of the really important things that I need to make sure that everyone is aware of is that for you to receive any credit for this assignment, I need for you to submit down here contact information for both of the people that you have interviewed. Remember, these interviews are you personally asking questions of people, whether you're doing it over text, email, face-to-face, phone, whatever it might be. I need their name and I need their contact information. So that could be their phone number and email address or both. But just be aware that I have to have contact information for both of these people before I can give you credit for this assignment. So if you were to submit it and not have that information, I'm going to send it back to you and ask for their contact information and their name. Okay, so just make sure that you're aware of that. So as we're looking through the class, I'm going to kind of show you how the week will flow or the 2 weeks will flow for this. So when you go into the classroom, you obviously last week did these reporters' reflections and read 4.01. You talked about kickers and leads, which are things that you're going to need to know for writing your assignment or writing your article. So you're going to see your assignment here in 4.05. So what happens as you're in 4.05, there's going to be some other assignments below that. And these actually are not physical assignments. What they are steps to completing 4.05. So on Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to have you working on 4.06. On Wednesday and Thursday, I'm going to have you working on 4.07. On Friday and the following Monday, you'll be working on 4.09. Then you'll be working on Tuesday and Wednesday, you're going to be working on 4.10. And then on Wednesday and, or sorry, Thursday and Friday, you'll be working on 411. And you should have your project finished by that second Friday. Okay, so it should be finished after the 2 weeks. So you're going to have plenty of time to work, but this is kind of a pacing guide for you to go with. If you don't want to use the pacing guide, that's totally up to you, but it is obviously a nice spread out time frame that will let you spend as much time as you need on the assignment and not have to rush through it. So if you want to use it, you can. If you don't, like I said, totally up to you. Okay. So as you're writing, and as we click into 4.05, which we're already in there, one of the things that I want to make sure that you look at is this rubric. So in the rubric, it's going to tell you exactly what you are being graded on. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas that you are graded on for this assignment. And in each of these areas, there are specific things that you want to make sure that you have to earn full credit for this assignment. So the very first thing is news value and accuracy. So basically, did you do the assignment like you were instructed? So are you completing the assignment where it's something in your local community that you're interviewing people you know, things like that. It can't be something that's a national news story. So if you're not following the news parameter of what I'm asking you to do, then obviously you're not going to earn all the points on this, right? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have at least 2 news values in your story. So we've talked about news values, right? Proximity. We've talked about, I'm trying to think of what some of the other ones are. Proximity, impact, all of those things, right? Prominence. So you want to make sure at least 2 of those things are on there. If you're writing local, you're going to have proximity in there, right? Because it's local. So it would have to do with proximity. So you're going to have 1 news value touching already. It could be something that's very impactful that you're writing about. So that would be your second news value, right? So you only have to have 2. Most news stories have more than 2 when you write, but you only need to have 2, right? You also need to make sure that you are not putting your opinion in there, right? As a journalist, you should remain unbiased. So you're telling both sides of the story. So that's really important that your opinion has not crept in, right? There's no time that I should hear the word I think in this news article. Always stick to third person, right? We're never ever going to write in that first person unless we're writing some type of editorial, right? Or where it's like a personal reflection of some kind, which you will not be doing in our class. So you should always be sticking to third person. You're going to need to make sure you have a lead, right? So you're going to have a lead in there, and then that your facts are consistent. You are going to include 2 human sources. So these are your interviews, right? So these are the 2 people that you're interviewing. You need to have at least 2. And then you're going to have at least 1 credible non-human resource. And those are the websites, articles, different articles that maybe someone has written that you want to pull some information from. It could be just their web page that they have. It could be a blog. There's a lot of different things you can use, but it could be facts, statistics, charts, but it's at least 1 piece of credible non-human resource or research. And then the third section, sorry, making sure that's the third, is that the story has a good structure, right? So it's not something that it's flying around all over the place. It doesn't flow. This is where I'm looking for the 5 W's in your H. So the who, what, when, where, why, and how. I'm looking for all of those things and just that it's organized in a clear manner. So this is really where proofreading comes in and making sure that someone is maybe reading it for you before you submit it. That's always a great idea. Ideas and content, basically that everything that's in your article relates back to your topic, right? So it's kind of like writing a good essay. You have your thesis and you want to make sure everything in your article relates back to your thesis. If you're talking about something and you're going off on a tangent that has nothing to do with what your original idea is about, you're going to lose points here. So make sure your ideas and content are really strong and go back to whatever your topic is. And again, making sure that you do not have your opinions creeping into the story. And then, of course, the last thing is just good writing. I'm definitely going to be looking at sentence structure, mechanics, grammar, capitalization, all of those things. So just make sure that you are really keeping that formal writing style and keeping things out like this article is going to be about, or I'm writing about, or in this article. We don't need to see any of that. You're kind of, that's setting your reader up to tell them, hey, you're getting ready to read this. Good writers don't need to do that. You should just start to write your article, right? So just make sure that you're doing that. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. We are going to have some obvious class connects going over some things as well, but I want to make sure that we're all on the same page with this. Please make sure you understand, once again, you have to submit 3.01 and get a 25 out of 25 on it before you can start working on 4.05. And you also need to make sure that you have 2 people that you're interviewing and that you're sending me that contact information with your submitted article, or you will not get credit for the article and I will send it back to you until you give me that contact information. Okay, so hopefully we're all good. Like I said, if you have questions, please let me know.